I feel like less like.
Yeah, right? Alright.
Horrified at the stuff my character did.
It's not even just that. It's just like, you know, PvP, quote unquote, right? Like it's a bad distinction, but like, you know, that kind of play can be very intense, and I mean, and I think this is it's very telling in the fact that I consistently switch between first person and third person language when I describe characters. Like, I don't necessarily draw, like, really, really, like, firm, like, boom linguistic lines. So, like, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty common, though. If you refresh, I've added a field for XP to the sheet. So, where do we go from here? I think it feels like Chihiro is in control of, like, where the next scene is.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, like, we follow her.
Follow me?
The leader,
Following me? Okay.
Leader.
Yeah, so I've like looped around to try and get ahead of Kaito. Yeah. Where do I take us? Because I don't actually want to take us home because I made that thing up. Although probably if like I went home and was like, Dad, you needed help with like
he would
the picking.
Be like,
he would just be like, oh yeah, of course I did. Yes, go do that. So, you know.
I mean, I'm imagining he would even. I imagine our parents are somewhat absent-minded in that regard. Like, in my mind, it's even more like he'd be like, "That's right, and you're half an hour late. Like, where are you? Where were you? You said you'd be here. Like,
yep, totally.
He's gonna leap right past the like,
I mean, what probably
so like,
happened
yes, you were bad child. Ah.
I mean, what probably happened was that while in the intervening time, he imagined that he had asked that, and like,
yeah, he asks us to do so many things.
If.
He can't keep them straight in his head.
Yep.
We have talent.
So, Okay, well, maybe I really do take us there? Maybe that is where I go? I think that is where I go.
Okay, so he's out working on it. So your father is out working on a tractor.
Yep.
Is your mum around? Is your mum? Sorry. Do you? Is your family a 2 parents, 2 kids situation?
With mum and dad?
It's Japan in the 80s, so I feel like the answer is yes.
Cool.
I think in this case, yeah.
Yep.
It's that, and then either a grandparent, and then one grandparent.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
Awesome. I know exactly.
Because that was very much the nuclear, like the traditional structure.
Yeah. He's working on a tractor, which is very, very common. You're very sure that the tractor, like, he often works on it when it hasn't broken down or things. He's just like, I'm gonna like, that sounds a little bit rusty or whatever. I'm gonna fiddle with it. And he's got like too many tractors for your farm. Like, he's got like 3 different sized tractors for different tasks, where the middle-sized one would have worked for everything. But yeah, he's working on like the big one, and like just covered in grease. And like, I think there's another task that is really clearly visibly like he could be doing, that would be actively productive. And as soon as you turn up, he's like, Chihiro, you need to be sorting through those things. They need to be sorted quickly. Where have you been?
Yeah, and I like immediately sort of like nod, and I think, what do I say about where I've been? I think I say,
You definitely told him where you were going this morning.
Yeah. But did I tell them the true thing? I think I did. Like, I think that they know. I think that they know that we hang out with Maho, and that is like, Maho is weirdly like an approved friend.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we've like, we've known her for such a long time.
Specifically because your parents are friends.
Actually, I think it's a weird thing too, where like Maho was like my approved childhood friend that I was allowed to hang out with, and then like Kaito is allowed to hang out with her like because of that, like kind of by proxy. Like that was how they became friends, because like but there's this weird thing where like I think our parents kind of don't necessarily approve of her, like now that she's kind of like smoking, you know, rock.
But they're like, but we know that she's a good kid at heart.
Exactly, at heart. Yeah.
But she's gone a bit off the rails in the last few years. Would be the wording.
So I think they try and gently parent her back onto the right path whenever they see her.
Yeah. So I think I just say I was helping Maho with the thing.
He's like, well, good, but you need to pay attention to the time. He's like, there's not much. It's not long before it'll be getting dark soon, and if these bales aren't sorted, then if these bags aren't sorted, then we're gonna have to do it tomorrow. As if that's somehow like a really big problem.
Yeah, and I just sort of like I nod and I'm like, I'll do it now, and I like immediately go and like start.
I think this is when I come. I like run like panting up the hill. I'm like Dad, Tosan, sorry, it's my fault. I lost track of time. It's not.
Yeah, and I think he just like huffs and like
exactly,
and like leaves. Like doesn't even say, like doesn't tell you to do anything. Just expects you to know what he wants you to do. Like there's some task that you can tell that in his head he's like worked out like what like there's a task
what the division of labor is going to be today. Yeah,
and and it's assumed that you know that.
Yeah, totally. And so I think I like walk past where Chihiro is, and I like gently nudge her shoulder with like my hip or something, and like rest just like the ghost of a hand on her shoulder, kind of like in and look down like a little apologetically. And then I'm going to go over to the corner of the bar, right, like the shed where like the roof has like rotted a little, and like a couple of the planks have like started to get mildewed.
Yeah, I feel like,
and I climb up a ladder and get a saw and start like, you know, patching that hole.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and like he'd like he'd like definitely like looks up and like does the like fucking good like look to himself, and like gets back to working on the tractor.
You did it, self.
Yeah. And he's like, goes back to working on the tractor, and you just hear this like as it the engine like finally catches because he had like fucked something up and now he's fixing it. It's like that thing, like he does that thing where he's like, I'm gonna fix this, breaks 3 things in the process, and then fixes them all and feels
so he's like a cis man.
Yes, that one.
And he's like unnecessarily overhauling some part of it in the first place, and then breaks a couple of things along the way.
I think like I like sort of like just put the bag that I'm like sorting or like moving down for a second, and I like walk over to him, and like I sort of put a hand on his like elbow, and I'm like, sorry, and Luke, what's the Japanese for like dad?
Tosan.
Tosan. Okay, yeah. So I like put a hand on his elbow, and I'm like, Tosan, have you had lunch? And I like describe like there's still, you know, the whatever in like the kitchen from last night, and you should go and eat something, you know, and like I'm trying to like gently like coax him to like go and like have some food.
Yeah, I think he. Are you?
I'm definitely concealing my whatever to yes.
Smart.
I have an ulterior motive.
Because what he's going to do, so I think you're aware of this, right? And I want to know how this ties in. What he's going to do is he's going to like, by default, you can see he's just like fixed a thing. So he's going to look proud, and then everyone should go in and eat with him. Is it going to be his default? Like
everyone should go. Should what?
Go in and have lunch with him, because if he's having lunch, it's lunchtime.
Yeah, that's true. Although, like,
that's going to be his default, but you want to like fiddle with that.
That's a default. Yeah, because like he's just got us started on a job, so why would we stop now?
Also, I've just remembered. You call him Torsan. I call him Otorsan. Like I definitely use the honorific because we're not. There's distance between us.
Yep. Damn, I'm not very smart, but all right, let's try it.
Oh, friend.
Nah.
That's your second
Thanks.
XP for today, isn't it?
No, it was a 7. No, it was a 7 last time.
Okay, cool. But yeah, mark an XP.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I think he's like, yes. He's like, oh, yes, it is lunchtime. You're right. I didn't even have morning tea. And it's like, all right, well, let's all go and get something to eat. And like, yeah, he starts to head in. Yeah, and like and you hear like small talk with your mother, like inside.
So is there like, because I failed this role, is it like inherently
There is a social
like I can't really say, oh no, we'll stay here. Okay, kind of.
So yeah, the social, there is a social obligation, and he will be upset if you don't follow him.
I think I'm gonna try and deflect.
Okay.
I think like my voice, like we don't see me. I'm still up in the raft. We just hear like my muffled voice. It's like, oh, no, Oto-san, we were late coming back. We left these jobs undone. We need to do them. You go in and have lunch. We'll come in and join you when we're done.
Cool. Roll minus distance with Chihiro.
Cool. -2. This is gonna go well. Roll 2d6 -2. I got a 4.
If you've been running around all morning, being out in the forest, and you don't have anything to eat, you're going to fall off that roof and die. Now come in and get some food.
Okay.
I like sigh.
Get dadded.
Yeah, I sigh. I lay like this deep like, and I like walk down the ladder and like I'm picturing him like Chihiro and I like quietly like trudge up to the house together.
Yep.
And have a meal.
Yep. Cool.
There's a cat. I pat it. Sadly.
Yeah.
Are you two sharing comfortable silence?
I was about to ask.
Yeah, actually, okay,
like
yeah.
over the meal, like you two. Are comfortable, everyone else is not.
Yeah, we don't talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, okay, I think so. It's weird because I wasn't like, I don't think Chihiro is feeling entirely comfortable, like, about where we're at. Like, she desperately wants to talk to you about things. But I think, yeah, we are
Quietly.
This is not a moment to talk.
Yeah, we're united in our, like, we're in the same space, despite the situation, yeah.
Cool. 9 on sharing comfortable silence. That's your steady, isn't it, Luke?
Yep.
Yep, cool.
I'm good
so
at
on
steady.
a hit, their company... So 9. On a hit, their company brings you comfort. Remove a distance with them. But you don't get a 10+, so you don't get to ask a question.
Yeah, and here's the question: like, what gap is bridged here? Is it like my resentment of my responsibility for you, or is it the lack of trust between us?
I think it's your resentment because, and tell me if I'm wrong here, but it sounded like you have worked out a way to leave, and so you're already kind of like, oh, eventually I'm not going to be responsible for this person, and like maybe that weight feels less.
Yeah. That's
There's
excellent.
a certain amount of camaraderie in the
Yeah,
you're
totally.
both of the same rank, you know.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that gap has closed.
Yeah.
I think because he's a dad, he's like a cis man dad. I think he brings it up and pokes again at it. Like there's some like throwaway like prod at the two of us about being out in the woods and like me not having taken proper care of the time or something during the meal, and I like look at you just like and like gently like touch your knee like it's okay, like I don't blame you, like he's being a shit but it's not your fault, like
Yeah, that's cool. Where?
How'd you do, Em?
I don't.
I think it's only we just do.
I don't think that move goes both ways. I think.
Yeah, I think because you instigated it. So
yeah, you instigated the sharing time, so therefore you're the one that because Chihiro went in first, right? You're the one instigating the sharing time by going in afterwards and joining.
Whereas I suppose to me, it feels like this move is maybe like the weird sex is one that's always reciprocal, but
that's true.
Because mechanically,
it's kind of cool
because it specifies a distance. It can only be done with PCs.
True.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I sort of like that. I mean, I particularly like it because I currently don't have access to the.
Roll combat science then.
I unfortunately have -1 because of the weird dream. So let's see.
Isn't the weird dream a penalty to hold steady?
Yeah, that's what this is, isn't
this
it?
is comfortable silence.
No, this is comfortable silence. Hold steady is the.
Oh, is that
steady versus your steady?
Oh, sorry, I thought it was
steady.
Yeah, I thought it was. Okay, cool, got it. That's fine then. Okay, so roll plus steady. Right, I'm relatively steady.
You did it. You get to remove a distance too.
Yep.
Yay. Okay.
You don't
good.
learn
No
anything
questions.
more. Yeah, and this seems appropriate. You don't learn anything more about each other, but you.
Yeah, we just are a united front in the face of like our dad being a bit of a dickhead.
Yeah, he's just a bit of a dickhead.
This is gonna make it even sadder when I betray you.
So this is so interesting because I feel like the one distance that I have with Kaito, like it doesn't make sense to lose it because it is Kaito listens to me but doesn't understand.
Well, that suggests to me that you need to work out what in the fiction about this is making it look like you're being understood.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, in my mind, this move is not just covering the meal; it is also, and then we spend the afternoon,
I think
working alongside one another.
Yeah, do you want to play to work out what?
I remember a conversation, Ash, about us not liking the word silence. Like, it's you quietly share space with someone. Like, idle talk is fine.
Yes,
it doesn't have to be like totally wordless.
Yep. So you can have a conversation between you.
Yeah.
If that helps.
Yeah, like, is it maybe, Emily, a thing of like we make polite small talk with one another through the afternoon, but like there is like some deeper emotional thing being said that like I get, even though like it is not said out loud.
You've got a thing that like your demeanor is different today or now.
Yes.
Kaito.
Yeah, because there is this weight off of her.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I have room in me to listen. Like, I'm not... Like, I've lost some of my exhaustion and I'm in a position I can listen to people again.
Okay, yeah, so it's less a, like, you have listened and understood and more that I feel like that's something that might happen now.
Oh, fuck. Okay, yeah, because here's the thing. It's not actually about the tiredness, it's about the other thing. Because I have distant eyes, right? Like, I'm always body here, trudging in the field, doing the work, mind in Yokohama, anywhere but here. And now I don't have to be like that anymore because I know that soon I'm going to be anywhere but here. And so I'm like mentally present and like able to listen and engage with you emotionally and like the things that you are trying to say. Yeah. Cool. And you sense that I'm like present again in a way that I haven't been for years.
Maho, where do you go?
I think the next thing I care to do is sneak into Kaito's room that night.
Yep.
Cool. Are you scared of that?
110%.
Is there fear in that?
Maybe a little bit.
Do you want to hold steady for me?
I'm scared of parents knowing that I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Because it will ruin it. But yeah, and it's less like primal fear and more of like a if they find out it's gonna wreck this thing.
Well, actually, Andrew, can I suggest something? Is it perhaps not the parents, but to revisit and reincorporate from earlier, the concern is that like Chihiro like overhears and like it's 3 of us hanging out and not just 2 of us. Like it's just like when she comes to the car when you're trying to like go on a date. Like
I'm trying to avoid anyone else.
Yeah, that like more than just the two of us will be involved.
Yep. Roll plus
All
steady.
right, so I roll steady. Easy. Get an 8, no problem. So steady.
Steady as heck.
So yeah, the problem you're gonna have is that if you like the way you get into the room is like you have to jump across like a gap or something that you can't jump back the other way, so you won't be able to get out this same way without being seen.
I will be here in the morning. Essentially.
Or you'll have to sneak through the house without waking.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. You have to jump down from a tree, which you can't jump back up.
Yeah. You won't
Right,
have
it's like-
you won't have a clear exit plan.
Yeah.
There's like a little walled garden.
Uh-huh.
And the walls are to keep like other animals
There's a
from
pig.
eating the vegetables or whatever.
There's
And
a
yeah, I have to like right, and I have to climb a tree and then drop into this garden, and I can't get back out of it.
Yeah. And like you have to try, so hard not to wake the pig. It's like,
I think I bring a little treat for the pig.
yeah.
So the
Yep.
pig is chill with it.
What is the? I want to know what the pig's name is.
Okay, it's an old pig. Oh no, okay, that's fine.
Suki
It's
is
just
good.
Buta-san,
Buta-san, yeah.
Yeah.
which means pig, right?
It also if it was Butsu-san, we'd have named the pig after the Buddha, which I kind of like. Like he's a very fat, very happy, very wise looking.
That's actually
perfect.
great.
There we
Love
go.
that.
Yeah.
Buta-san. There we go. Cool. So yeah.
And Maho definitely
like,
calls it
One time when he was a piglet, he like wandered into like the house and like sat down in front of the Butsudan, and that was when we named him. We were like, oh, he's a Buddhist. It's funny.
Yeah. Yep. That's definitely what happened. So yeah,
Great.
you're in the you're in this little courtyard, and like just in, so there's a door into like a hallway, and then just off to the one side is Kaito's room.
By the way, my gift for the pig was the apple cores from earlier
Yes,
in the day.
of course. Good job.
Yeah, like the sliding screen doors open into like a corridor, and then my room is off.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so yeah, she
like
like
a-
takes
like
her
a-
shoes off
Yeah.
and but carries them with her so that no one will see them out in the hall, and yeah, walks into the room, like puts some of her stuff down.
I think
the
there's
corner.
there's like a washer or a dryer just like rumbling away.
Right, so there's a little bit of white noise to cover.
I think to be honest, like I think we live in enough poverty that I think my room is also the dryer room.
It's
that's
the
what
laundry
I'm
room.
wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I just have like a futon laid out in the dryer
Yeah.
room
Yep.
Great.
because my life is awesome.
Clearly. And so yeah, she has like snuck in the night, slides the door closed as gently as she can, and then like just lies down on your bed and like puts her head on your chest and just like quietly cuddles in.
Aww, that's nice.
That sounds like comfortable silence.
That sounds like comfortable silence, and also like it's very gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you wake up when I do this or not. That's up
I
to
feel
you.
like maybe you don't. Like I feel like this is
Not
like
at first.
comfortable
I think
silence
this is.
where-
I think this is Maho sharing comfortable silence and me like a passive participant because I'm
Yeah,
sleeping.
you're not returning the action.
And then like after some time, I wake up and then maybe we have our conversation. Like maybe the next, like false at like very early the next morning.
Yeah. Okay,
gonna
cool. So
roll
this I
steady.
roll steady.
Yeah.
Still pretty steady.
Yeah. So you,
so you
don't
clear a distance.
learn anything, but you clear a distance.
Okay, you don't have my heart yet, but we maybe can speak honestly now.
I mean, we did earlier, right? Like I feel
Yeah.
like that one like reflects the fiction as established.
I mean, yeah, you're like now the two of you can both like speak clearly to one another because you weren't quite 100% Maho. You were still being.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and so we have like this really like tragic shot. It's like this really like sad shot of just like us like cuddling in the dark with like you awake and then you slowly drift off to sleep. And then yeah, I feel like we like You know that like time-lapsey thing where like the clouds wheel overhead, but like obviously we can't see the clouds. We just see like a tiny bit of like faint gray light coming in through like the window.
Yeah.
Like stretch out across the bed until it like wakes us.
Yeah.
Also, side note, there is something that I would like to have done in that meantime, but I'm happy to do it as a scene after.
Let's do that. Now.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Okay, I don't mind, because I think it will be interesting either way, whether we shift time around or not.
Yeah, I don't think, because we're fast forwarding, I don't think we need to roll the lay down to sleep move for Maho, unless you wanted to, Andrew. But it didn't seem like that was a thing we were putting on camera.
I'm here to roll a different move.
I'm aware.
Do I need to roll it because I'm already sleeping?
No, because you didn't lay down to sleep on
you
camera.
can't
Yeah, we didn't see that happen. Oh yeah, because I can't dream, regardless. I fucking
Doesn't
forgot.
matter, yeah. Chihiro.
So, I think I have a room that's like in the attic. I have the attic room of this house. And I think that I like wake up sometime late in the night. And it's that thing where like you wake up with the feeling that you heard a noise, but the noise isn't continuing anymore. And I like look out my window and I think like down the street where you could probably only see it from where I am, I can see Maho's car. So I am going to like sneak out and go and sit in the car.
Cool. Are you scared of anything along the way? Is there anything you're worried about? I mean, sneaking suggests there's something you're worried about.
Yeah, I think like it's fairly straightforward. Like I don't want my parents to wake up and see that I am sneaking out. Like I would get in lots of trouble.
Yep.
I think that's
roll plus steady.
straightforward. Okay, but I am taking -1 to this, aren't I? Because it was
Yes, you are.
it was -1 forward. All right. So we just account for that and whatever I roll. Oh dang. All right. Well, it's still a 9.
Yep.
It would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like you're trying to go towards the car that you had a weird dream about.
Yeah,
Like-
that's like yeah, and that's exactly why I'm like, I need to go and sit in the car and think, because it's a good place for thinking.
So the consequences here are going to be spooky, right, Ash? Spooky consequences.
Yeah.
Spooky.
The
The middle of the night, so.
So I think what happens is that you look out and see like Maho's car and like the lights are on and Maho is like in the car, and then the next time you look the lights are off and she's gone.
Yeah, okay. So like when I look out the window, I see her sitting there, and maybe I'm like, oh, I'll go and talk to her, and I like turn and like put my jacket on and look again, and it's like like it is much too short an amount of time for her to have like turned off the lights, got out of the car, and gone outside of
Been out
like
of
visual.
sight.
Yeah, been out of sight. So
yeah, I feel like I'm gonna extend your like hold steady -1 forward for the next hold steady. For like it's spooky and you're scared.
okay, yep. So I've still got -1 to
If
hold
you go
steady.
through it.
Like if you
Just
go out
stay
to
where it's safe.
you go out to the car, you're gonna have a spooky time.
I want to have a spooky time. There's also another thing I want to do, but I think spooky time. I'm going to commit to it. Let's go to the car and have a spooky time.
Spook
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So I get out there. Okay.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Because you like I've told you what will happen, which is that you're spooked.
Yep. I pick the lock on the car with a bobby pin because I like have done it a million bazillion times.
Yeah, you do that.
And like climb in. And like sit in the back seat in the middle where I was in that dream that I was having.
Yeah.
And I think I like put my feet up on like I don't know what that thing is called. Between the two front seats, there's usually the little box thing.
There isn't that in this car because it has a bench front seat, but there is but in
Double
the back
bench
seat,
seating.
in the back seat there is the like thing for the drivetrain, the drivetrain.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I like sort of tuck my feet up so that I'm kind of like got my knees up against my chest. And yeah, I'm just gonna like kind of sit there with my like chin on my knees. And just like have a big think.
Do Is there a thing you want to try and achieve from having a big thing?
Yes, I think I am seeking understanding or longing for change. Yeah, I mean, I'm longing for change. I want us to all be a team again. Like, there was a time when the two of them were dating, and like Maho and I hadn't gotten old enough, or like hadn't gotten quite weird enough that we didn't like touch anymore. Where like the dynamic was really good, like it worked, and we were all kind of connected in a balanced way.
And like that probably would have been like the last time that I was like present and open enough to like listen to you.
Yeah.
And so like
was,
it's
like,
in
the
your
summer
mind because
before
we're
last.
we're back
It was
in that
definitely
place.
summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely like a summer thing. Yeah. So I just sit there and like, and again, I don't think I'm like doing deep work consciously, but I'm like just remembering that time and sort of trying to visualize it, and I'm, you know, like picturing a day when we were out in the woods and the light was really beautiful through the trees, and we had like had this picnic of like mushrooms that Kaito had picked. Like the earliest ones of the season or something, you know, and it was this really kind of idyllic time.
And like there was like a beautiful momiji tree that was like just starting to turn because it was early autumn.
Yeah. So I want it to be like it was.
The best you can do is a lesser version.
No kidding.
Yep, you can never go back to your childhood.
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever.
Too real.
I think you have to like it will distance you from your parents because you will have the farm is the thing that's in the way,
Yeah.
right? Like your parents and your farm are the thing that's in the way.
And it was always like us, the three musketeers against the world back then, right? Like there's no room for our parents in that
May I make a suggestion as well
arrangement.
for a third thing?
Yeah.
Which is, of course, that it is only possible at a specific place, which is to say,
Yes.
in the city.
Pinegrove.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's even better.
Yeah.
Which is what? Sorry, in the
In
what?
the city.
In the city.
Yokohama.
In Yokohama.
Oh wow. Yeah. Okay.
It's at least not in this town.
That's interesting. Okay. So yeah,
and
that's
there's, like, the city as a symbol, right?
It's only possible in a specific place, anywhere but here.
anywhere else.
Specifically,
Which is why it's like a lesser version to me, anyway, because that's not the version of the thing that I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to go back to 2 summers ago
Like
when we were all like that here.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
like it's definitely 2 summers ago. It's not the summer just passed because that was the weird summer.
Yeah, it was the summer before that.
Yeah.
this previous summer was where you realized that everything was fucked up and different.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Contrast to
this
the one
previous
before where things were good.
The previous summer was when I had graduated from school and I was starting to look at my options, and my parents were like, "Ah, fuck you, no, you have to stay on the farm."
Yeah.
And that was when everything started to like get weird.
Yeah. Okay. And I think like. I think the thing, like I have this kind of process and this realization, and I think the thing that she realizes is like I think at that point, and with your permission, Luke, I think at that point she works out that like she was trying to understand when you were talking to Maho, like why you asked Maho to go with you when you went to the city, but you didn't ask me. Like, what was that about? That doesn't make sense. And I think this is the point where she has the realization that you've assumed she's going to stay on the farm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I think that like that's the thing she realizes as she's sitting there, and she just like starts sort of quietly like crying to herself.
Emily, I didn't give you permission to make it sad.
I endorse this sadness.
You're a monster, Andrew. You always want it to be sad. Shush.
The stars wheel.
Sometimes I want it to be horrifying.
I mean, that's
A paler shade of sad.
I mean, Andrew and I consistently want things to be sad, horrifying, or funny, like absurd.
It's
my
interesting
God.
because I relate to you on the first two, but rather than absurd, I would like heartfelt. That's my third flavor of like Neapolitan role-playing games. The ideal mix.
Emily's mind is currently blowing.
No, I have developed a plan. I have had a thought, but I am going to hold on to it because I think I can do it later. But there is a thing that I think I would like to do, but we can come back to it in a later scene.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah. The stars wheel through the sky. The sun peaks from behind the horizon
And
rises.
so-
Ash, I'm picturing, just for what it's worth, I'm picturing this doesn't happen at dawn. This happens at false dawn.
Yep.
So like the
Yeah,
sky,
like in the
the sky is light,
The
but
sky
the
is gray,
sun has
yeah.
not risen yet.
Yeah.
And
It's in
the
that like
reason it
gray,
happened,
fuzzy half between time.
so Maho is awake, like before it is even light in the sky at all, crying, and then as there starts to be a little bit of light outside, she's just like, and like wipes her tears away, like wipes her face, and just says, "Right, now is the right time," and then. And then Kaito gets woken up by, like, by Maho getting her hands on her, and her body is like really, really warm in contrast to the like kind of cold, late fall air. And she just like wriggles her way in under like blankets, clothing, etc.
Yeah.
And wakes you up in that particular way.
Yep.
So,
Classy.
are we rolling for-
Wow, Em.
are we
Tone
rolling
of
for good morning?
judgment.
No, because of the context specifically. Like,
Yeah, I mean that. No, that's
Yes,
fair.
yes, let's come here to have a discussion. Oh, hello.
It's sex time.
Cool. Well, this
Um,
sex sounds weird.
I think. See,
It's
here's the
just
thing,
thing.
because I could reject or push away help or comfort and get XP.
Exactly.
But I don't. I think like in this like soft hazy light where like nothing hurts, nothing has hard edges, and everything is like distant and like easy to deal with, and like with like all the warm vibes from like re-bonding with her sister yesterday. I think she goes with it. I think Kaito just goes with it.
Cool.
Because like the two of you like meant a lot to one another once, and like I don't know about you, Andrew, but like I'm certainly picturing that like this is like a less brash, like more like emotionally like kind of like open version of
Maho was crying.
Good
this
luck.
season, so
Yeah, exactly, right? So I think So let's have some weird sex and let's see what happens.
Good luck on your weird sex.
I'm really
gonna
bad
be
at weird.
weird
Weird is
bad.
my worst. Weird is my
both of
worst
you need to roll
stat.
weird.
midway through, Maho pauses to say, like, we haven't been honest with each other, and like all of our words are lies, and so she just like, and then she just goes quiet, and it's clear that like, so she's not gonna try talking.
So
she's
no
trying
words.
to like,
No words
she's trying
allowed.
to communicate her feelings in this other way that maybe she'll
Yeah.
do a better job of, because if she talks, she's just gonna call you an idiot.
Well, like I just got a 3, so
I got a 7, so at least there's that.
Mark XP, Luke.
Yay.
So on a hit, the sex is alienating and confusing. And I can choose that it is either impersonal, unsettling, or draining. I want it to be unsettling for me. And this is for Maho specifically, because for Kaito, it's even worse.
for
presumably.
Kaito, it's the GM gets to make a move bad.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, that Explosive has just made a really good point in chat. Given the magical context of the sex, draining would be really appropriate.
That's why I'm thinking unsettling, though.
That's legit.
Because this is like sealing a magical compact that I made yesterday while twiddling myself. So
What a fucking sentence.
and
Welcome everyone to this like MA rated edition of I Am Not Trying to Kill You.
And there's some weird like ritual steps that gets like worked into the usual. Like Maho does some weird stuff while you two are getting down.
Yep.
Also.
Weird witch stuff.
Yeah, there's some like weird, very witchy stuff.
Hey Luke. Hey, Kaito. While this is happening, your head, like you're like having a nice time, and you start to get a little bit of that like high. And then it just keeps going. You start feeling like completely separated, like completely dissociated, and like you're burning and like becoming really like hot, and it's suddenly like it's like you're like got this like a sun under your skin, and you're like burning up and separating from yourself. Can you roll suffer?
Yeah, totally.
Oh God.
And then after that, I also have a thought. So we can talk about it.
What I am understanding here is that if Luke rolls low enough, Maho fucks Kaito to death.
It's possible.
With weird magic. Yes.
It's possible.
It is distinctly
That's
possible.
horrific.
But steady is my best stat.
Yes. Oh, thank God.
Thank God.
This is why you're a good
Thank God.
girlfriend. Excellent.
Okay, good.
I never accidentally kill you by having sex. That's a good quality. You know?
Yeah, your weird sex magic is never dangerous.
It's never lethal.
Yeah, so I gain insight, Ash. Talk to me about my insight. What insight does this suffering teach me?
Yeah.
Also, we have to describe a disturbing realization that occurs to Maho.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's disturb some weird shit.
Yeah, Maho, you now, Maho, you've taken sleep from.
Oh, this is the story that Emily read in the chair. Gotcha. I'm on board.
You now have her sleep. You can give it to her when you like, but you own it now.
Nice.
Like, you've taken her tiredness. She can't be tired.
Yeah, which is the thing, right? Like, yeah, if you never give it to her, it's like, it's okay because she doesn't need it to function anymore. It's just weird and unnatural.
Yeah, and later I can just be like, you're fucking tired now.
Yeah, go to bed.
Yep. That is what's happened. So yeah, I think both of you have realized this. That's the insight, and that's the unsettling realization. Is that, yeah, you have this a bit, and I think the thing is, I think, Maho, you're aware that you can burn her out, like just like burn the.
Like I can turn the dial fully in the direction I turned it, and it will be bad as well.
And you can burn that candle right out. So,
I feel like I am 110% in a position to handle or examine something interesting, and that something is Maho's magic.
I was going to be like, are you going to say me? Because I'm not just some thing to be examined.
I don't know. I don't feel like that.
If anything, it would be touched by magic. Encounter.
Here's a strong argument for why. Magic is not a thing, it is a set of practices.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, that's legit.
Yeah, like magic is just a part of the world. It's like saying I'm going to handle
Gravity.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ash and I on that same gravity wavelength.
Like in the rules of this like fiction. But if you wanted to be roll encounter, I would let you. That's up to you. If you want to, like, that's up to you whether or not you want to like lean into it and like feel it.
She is definitely being touched by magic.
Yeah, I am. Like, I mean, I feel like we've already gone there, right? Like, we've already, like, on a 7-9, you're out of your depth, hold steady or suffer. Like, I feel like we've already seen all the fiction that this move would do. It would just be weird and replicating.
Yeah, we would be replicating it. Yep, true.
Yeah, and especially because, like, my bad weird means that we would probably get a 7-9. So we would get something that has literally already happened.
Yep.
I think it's fruitless in this instance.
True. Cool.
And so here's what happens.
Yeah.
I think she looks at you and, like, knows this and, like, starts to cry with relief. because she doesn't feel tired.
Yeah,
Right? For like the
part
first
hasn't happened yet, so
yeah, but also just like I don't think she cares. Like it's that same thing of like you know, all of that like really all that discourse that goes on around like the weird way that we position like opioid addiction as like the terrible evil, but like people being forced to live in suffering is somehow like a more like that's totally okay, but like God forbid someone should be addicted to opioids. Like
that's a very Christian ethic.
Yeah.
yeah, like she has been living in like exhausted, mired like misery for the last like 2 years, and she's not anymore.
There's a moment of relief. Yeah.
Yeah, and like this is like fucking that is a totally acceptable price to pay. She's like, no, that's fine. Like I don't care. This is very much worth it. Yeah, and so she's just crying with really. She like leans in and like kisses Maho, really like softly and tenderly.
Yeah, and Maho puts her hand on your heart and says,
"Oh, it's gay."
Just rest a little longer, and then like puts you to sleep.
Yeah,
and sneaks out.
Legit. Yeah.
So yeah. There's a
and not like doesn't put her to sleep forever, Ash. Okay, no. Not forever.
It's alright.
Just to be clear.
It's cool. You haven't made a roll for me to fuck with you on that.
Yeah, this is a magical realism spell, which means that you are like it's just a thing that you can do, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, so she like puts you back to sleep just for a little bit, just to like get you through to proper dawn, and then is going to try to like leave the house.
Yeah. So M, if you have a scene, I would that you would like to do, I reckon do it, because I have a fairly catastrophic. I have a fairly catastrophic scene I'd like to do without parents.
Do you want to be asleep when Maho gets back to the car?
Yeah, are you in my car still when I come there? Like,
No, I'm
naked
not.
in the morning. Okay.
I'm not in the car. I think I'm actually. So okay, let me just. I'm gonna throw a whole NPC. I'm gonna throw a thing into this mix.
Do it.
So when Maho and I were kids, there was another kid that we used to hang out with. And that was like my other approved friend. Like those are my two, like, these are good kids that you can hang out with. But the other friend moved overseas. However, she is still like a person that I'm allowed to talk to, and that's why part of why I'm allowed to use the phone.
Did she move overseas, or did she just move to like the next prefecture over?
No, she moved to America.
She moved to America. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, right.
And so I'm allowed to talk to her on the phone, but I don't know that this is the correct time zone thing, but like this would be the time when like early morning would be like the time when I can like have conversations with her.
That's the previous night.
It's the afternoon.
Previous evening, yes.
Japan is like very near Australia in time zone.
Cool. So yeah,
it's like when it's midday for Andrew, and
Yeah,
it's
and
like
it's
7 a.m. in the morning here. Like it's literally that.
Yeah.
yeah. So I think like rather than being in the car, I'm like in the house, and there's this thing where like when I talk to this friend, I like take the phone the phone itself like off of the hook, and like do that thing where I like carry it into like an adjoining room, and I like close the door. There's like a broom closet or something where I sit to talk to my friend, so like you can see like the cord goes like into the door.
It's like a little cupboard door.
Yeah. But I like go and sit in there, so that I'm out of the way, but also like so I can have a private conversation with my friend. So I think that's where I am. Yeah, you walk past it, and you can hear like Chihira's voice in there, and she is like muttering under her breath. And you can also hear her like writing, like she's scribbling something, and she's muttering under her breath, and it sounds like she's just like, I think you can quite make out the words, but it sounds like she is kind of doing that thing where you talk to yourself as you're writing something down to like
as you're writing, you're saying
you're saying the things, but you just can't quite pick up what she's saying. But it's like a constant, like she's just constantly doing this and like scribbling something.
yeah, the door slides open. All the doors slide in this house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Maho is standing there in her underwear and a very loose-fitting tank top, holding like her jeans and leather jacket and shirt and like all this other stuff draped over one arm. Her hair is all like down out of the like complicated updo that she has normally. So it's just like this big long black, like, you know, like square shape basically, just like and she's like got a hand on the door frame and is leaning in over you. I assume you're kind of like seated or in some way.
It's like I'm like sitting down on like a crate, I think, and like as soon as the door slides, I like jump and like move the book so that you can't see it, and just like look up at you and just like shake my head and like do this.
Yeah, and her head's kind of tilted to like get a look at you, and she just says, "What are you doing?" In like a tone.
Yeah, and I like put a hand over the microphone of the like telephone so that like you know they don't hear you speaking or whatever, and I like move my head and I'm like, not now. And then I I think there's like you can hear like a voice on like through the phone, like you know in that kind of where you can only hear like the
tinny like
and like sort of a questioning voice, which sounds, I think all you can pick out from it is that like it sounds like quite a deep adult's voice. And like she like puts like her head back to the phone and she's like, yes, I'm still here. And then like again like is like,
and I know that you're keeping things from me. Yeah, so I think she just like squats down like she's still on her feet, but just like folds down so that she's right at your level.
She gets on your level
and is very, very close. And you like close enough that you can smell her. And she smells like sex.
And I kind of like wrinkle my nose.
And she's like, "Who are you talking to?"
Oh God.
And then what's this kid's name? Sorry.
The friend overseas. Let's give her. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Tomo. Yeah.
And so she's like, "Who are you talking to?" There's a pause where you don't answer, and then she says, "Is it Tomo-chan?"
And I think Chihiro like nods, but she's absolutely lying. Like you can just straight up tell she's a terrible liar. So she's just like,
because if you were talking to her without me, I'd have to kill you. And she like pokes you in the chest, right? And it's not like I'm literally gonna kill you, but just like I would be very upset because I am her friend too, because we're all in the same age group. And so of course this is like you hiding a special thing of being able to talk to this friend of ours who now lives overseas.
So I think
like she kind of like looks a, like you can see she sort of like looks a little shocked, like she realizes, oh yeah, wait, you would be really upset about that. That's true.
Wait, I did a bad lie. Damn it.
Wait, that's a shitty lie. And then I think like you can hear again like this voice on the phone is sounding like more insistent, and she like again she kind of is like, yes, sorry, keep going, and like then she kind of like chews on her lip a bit, and you can see like she's trying to make a decision.
Cool. While you're distracted, I steal your notebook and read what you've been writing.
Yes, fantastic. It's a transcript. It looks like it is like meeting notes or something like that. Like it is a transcript of people speaking, and it's written in like very, very neat handwriting.
And this is just like baffling. Like you're doing like office work over the phone or something. Yeah, so she just like looks at it and is like completely baffled. Like she doesn't know how to parse this at all, because as far as her thinking of Chihiro goes, it's just like you're just like a kid. Like you only do kid stuff. This is like office worker shit.
Yep. And yeah, like as soon as you take it, she's just like, and it's just sort of like, kind of like flailing at you
like
because
cradling the phone and still
cradling the phone and like flailing because A, she like doesn't want to move too much to disturb the phone, and B, like you're just way stronger than her, and she knows that like if she like goes to try and pull it from you, like you're gonna win, and yeah, so she's just like kind of flailing and being like, no, I need that, I need that.
Yeah, so she like puts it back in your hands.
Mm-hmm.
And just like watches you scribbling for a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, there's definitely like there's a conversation wherein like I have to like profusely apologize to somebody, and then like sort of I'm being like berated, and then like I sort of start writing again. But I'm like obviously very like aware of like my host's presence, and I'm just kind of really like tense.
And here's a Japanese cultural detail which can inform me of some pertinent information. Are you doing the active listening thing that folks in Japan do when they're on the phone, or you're like so like you're constantly affirming that you're paying attention, which would mean that someone was talking to you, or is it that you are transcribing something like there are other people talking and you're just writing?
Yes, no, that one.
That one. Yeah, so you're actually silent and writing, which is also weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
like the stuff that I'm writing down is like it's like business stuff. Like it looks like it is the text of a business meeting, some kind of like, so it's all jargon.
So and so will like sell X many units of this type of thing to the we need to acquire blah blah blah. And, yeah, okay. Yeah, this is so weird, but I just want to know what it is. So she just waits until you're done.
I think like at some point I like write like between the things that I'm writing, when there's like a slight pause like in the conversation on the phone, I like write a side note to you that so that you can read it, because I know that you're reading everything I'm writing, that just says you can't tell Kaito about this.
Yeah, and she like nods as if that's not a problem, just like yeah, okay. But yeah, she's just gonna sit there until you're done because she wants to interrogate you about it.
Okay.
And
yeah.
I think when you say that, when you write that, she just like points at Kaito and then does the like sleeping motion, and then like a hand like don't worry about it, because I think I put her to sleep with magic. It's fine.
So I feel like in a meta sense there is a race here though between like which happens first. Does the phone call finish, or does one of the farmer parents wake up?
Yeah, I think one of the farmer parents wakes up.
And we could, I don't know if this is a roll or something, like I don't know if there's a...
No, there's not a roll for it. It's, I'm gonna... Actually, no, I'm more interested to see the scene where the phone call finishes.
And here's where I run into a problem for my character, which is that all I want to do is be like trapped in this closet and have an uncomfortably sexy moment with you, and the game won't let me because you're the child.
Well, I mean,
yeah, exactly. Well, it just means I can't do that move.
Yeah.
Like,
does it mean that? So
in fact, debatably, like what it means is that for you the sex will not be weird. That's what it means. You're like well adjusted. Like actually,
I think there is. I reckon in this case there is like some like group judgment stuff, because like we have stated like that my character in this is not a child, in the sense of like that would be a thing that would be really immoral and
red
bad, and we want to see it, red card. Like that's not the situation. It's more that our specific relationship currently isn't
include that kind of content.
And that I can't do the move. So that doesn't mean, as far as I'm concerned, that doesn't mean that Maho can't like do weird, like be strange and like too close and whatever.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You like by not being able to make the move, it means you're not able to use sex to remove a distance.
Right, it's kind of sex is inherently problematic, like alienating, or
well, I mean, you don't make the move at all, right? It doesn't do anything to you.
I think it's just neutral.
Yeah.
Like
sex is just sex, like it is in real life.
It's just not a thing. Yeah, it's not a thing that.
Another person who
it's not magical. There is no magical power in it.
Yeah,
which
you
is what
don't
their
load
normal
your
is.
emotional value into the sex, and therefore you don't.
So yeah, I think at some point while like sitting here waiting, like it becomes clear that Maho is uncomfortable just like squatting in the hallway next to you in the closet, and she just like wriggles into the closet and is like cuddling you basically in the closet and slides the door closed and just like quietly like holds you or is close to you.
I think actually there's a weird thing where like she goes to like hold on to like Chihiro, but instead like Chihiro just basically like kind of like gives her like a bit of a like a confused look, and then just sort of like puts an arm so that she's like writing, like puts an arm like a kind of around Maho so that she's like writing around her, but just sort of like in a very like they're there kind of way.
Yeah, you're like pressed really close together, like side to side.
She just responds to it as though like, oh, you're upset. Like I'll hold on to you. You seem upset. I'll be comforting, and like just immediately is just like goes with it, but in a very kind of wholesome, like, oh no, it's all right, like you're okay kind of thing, and like continues doing what she's doing.
And so that's when all the upset feels that she had just had to like swallow to do the thing, those all come back, and she just is like quietly sobbing while you're doing the transcription.
And I'm having to like turn the phone so that the like people can't hear that you're sobbing.
I'm keeping it down as much as I can, but it's not it's not great.
Are the two of you quietly sharing space with someone?
Yes.
I think we are.
Actually, I think that is what happened. Yep, I think that is what's happening.
I was going to suggest that as well.
Yep, cool. Okay, so steady.
Ash and I are
I've still got -1 to this.
No, you
don't.
No, I don't. It's hold steady, which is a move.
Got it. Sorry, I find that one.
I think that is a move that probably needs.
That's a thing where naming needs to get adjusted. All right. Well, I do a great job.
I do a pretty good job.
I will help you.
You get to.
Can I do this?
I don't know.
Yes, you can.
Help her do it. Yeah.
Okay. That would be great.
So I roll minus distance. So /r 2d6 -1. Because I have 1 distance with you, which is that I know you're keeping things from me. And I get a 10 on that as well.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Fantastic.
So let's resolve the help
successful.
another first. So on a hit, you help them and remove their result up 1 step. On a 10+, you remove a distance with them. So
great. So
cool. So we both remove the distance.
No longer happen.
Yeah, I'm exactly because I'm literally not.
Because you're literally sharing it right now. Yeah.
Like, and I remove Maho and I no longer touch.
Which.
Because we're literally doing that right now.
And yeah, like.
Then you both get to ask a question.
Yep.
Yes.
Also, to be clear, this wasn't at any point Maho trying to like be super sexy like at
No,
you.
exactly. Yeah.
It's like she's being a friend, but also she like smells of sex, was just banging your sister, and like is a very like sexualized character. So if there's any tension around that, it's inadvertent, and that's up to you to decide.
Cool.
Yeah,
I
like that.
Hang out with you.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Sad.
I think that's really cool and interesting. I like that a lot.
And then we each get to ask each other a question.
Yeah.
And it's like to speak to the intention when this movie was written. This is not like it's not like you say the words out like this.
No.
It's knowledge that passes between the characters and you as the players. It's not like words.
Yeah.
It's like an unspoken thing.
Yeah, just
where
like
you come to an understanding.
To be clear.
Oh, these are all good. That's the problem. I want to know the answer to all of these questions. Okay. Of what are you most deeply afraid?
It's a hard one. What is Maho afraid of? Loneliness? Like
That we'll leave her.
That's why she like seeks to like have intimacy with people so aggressively. It's like it's all motivated by this like inability to be alone ever. Like so it's beyond like, oh, like I don't want to be alone. It's like no, like I can't be alone. I fall apart when I'm alone.
Okay. Yep. All right. Cool. What's your question?
What are your characters? Do we want to do secret pains? Yeah, let's do some secret pains. You're not allowed to hide things from me now, so secret pains.
Secret pains. I actually have to work out an answer to that question. Secret pains.
That you realized I wasn't planning on taking you with us to the city?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I feel like there is, because it is like it's specifically like pains, like plural. I think like you realize the stuff about like I'm sad because it's not how it was, you know, in that good summer, and like I feel like Kaito is like gonna go away and not take me like along, and that we're all gonna get separated. But I think, because I want to know, I want to work out something that I haven't, like I want this to teach me something about Chihiro's secret pains.
I'll let you all continue. I'm just gonna like disappear for a second, and I'll be back.
Great. GM yourselves. I'm out of here.
Yeah, exactly. You carry on. I think also, okay, no, I think it is just basically that, but it's also like the fact that like she is specifically anchored to this place. And like the feeling of the place changing is really sad and uncomfortable for her. So like she doesn't want anything to change or people to go away or for the place that she lives in to change. She just wants everything to stay the same. She wants like the exact opposite of what like
her sister wants.
Yeah.
And it's also she wants a completely impossible, impractical thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the complete opposite. Kaito doesn't care about things changing. Kaito wants to be away from here.
Yeah.
Kaito doesn't give a fuck about what happens to this place.
Yeah, but
that's the point. Yeah.
If we look at that from like where Chihiro is sitting.
Yeah, from Chihiro's perspective.
That's like her role here has to change. Blah 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 blah. So I think this scene goes from like you from Chihiro comforting Maho to the other way around. Like somewhere in the middle, you're like, wait, no, I'm crying now.
I think I managed to finish. Like I managed to finish the like transcription like phone call thing. Like sort of, but like as I'm doing the last bit of it, I'm getting like all kind of like I have to be blinking.
Yeah, and Maho like catches your tear on your cheek so that it doesn't fall on the page. And she like sweeps it, and then you know like by the end is like holding you in her arms, like you know, so like your head is like right here sideways, and she's like pulling you close and like gives you a little kiss on the cheek like reassuringly, and is like smoothing your hair.
And of course, actually, the other realization that like comes out of all of this, and maybe this is how you get to it, is you realize, because I had always been talking about like, there had always been this idea of like I have these phone calls, and maybe you had suspected that it was with this long-term, like this long-distance friend, and indeed, like that's what I was telling my parents. But like in actual fact, it's fairly obvious now that like I have absolutely no contact with that friend anymore. That friend is just gone. Like I don't speak to her. That's
and now
not a thing.
You're like making money on the side, doing transcription. Is this also what's happening? Yeah.
Yeah.
God, this is bleak. Okay, cool. So yeah, I just like cuddle you in this weird little closet with your phone.
It's a metaphor.
Yep.
No, nothing gay will ever happen. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Bit late for that, Andrew. Tad too late.
A little bit.
And you know she'll say some reassuring stuff like about how she's not gonna like leave you alone or whatever. Like the things that she tries to reassure you about are what give away the fact that she's really scared of being alone
Yes.
and can't handle being alone because it's all about
She's
her.
like, clearly the thing you were upset about is the fear that you are going to be left.
Yeah, like no one's
Yeah.
going to
I know
be
this
alone.
is-
Blah blah blah.
Yep. Yeah. Which I think is like genuinely comforting. Like she finds that genuinely comforting because of course like if you don't leave her alone, then like probably also, you know, Kaito won't like go away because like you're connected and so it is comforting to her, I think.
I can be the leverage that you use to emotionally manipulate your sister into never leaving.
Exactly.
So on that subject,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I have seen I'd like to have.
Yes. Drama.
Yeah, which is like some, you know, like everyone has woke, like it's breakfast, right? Like we're all
Yep.
in the house, we're eating breakfast together.
Yeah.
I am in attendance unaccountably.
Yeah, for whatever. Yeah, and no one has remarked on the sex. Actually,
I think I've made an excuse for you. Like I've said something about like I think I said like the water at your house isn't working or something like that, and you needed to come and use our shower.
Great.
I think I'm gonna lean into this just because like fuck it, like I feel like from a like this genre is all about like magical coincidences and all this bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Today is my 20th birthday. Right? Like I'm now an adult.
Yep.
And so it's like we're sitting around the kitchen, the table, and like eating breakfast, and Kaito feels like not tired for the first time in like 18 months. And as a result, like it's not fear, it's dread. Like the entire reason that she's been so like sneaky and covert about like how do I use magic to make my parents okay with this is because like the idea of having to have that argument is so like exhausting. Like she just dreads the whole concept of like having that argument and like doing that, but like she's not tired anymore. She's strong. And so she looks across the table at her parents and she says to them, Tosan, Ka-san, and she deliberately doesn't use the honorific. I'm 20 now. Next week, I'm leaving and I'm going to Yokohama. And you can't stop me.
Like I think like I immediately like stop eating like as soon as you sort of say this and like put my like fork down noisily and just kind of like stare at the table.
And I would like to make a case that I have just spoken a deep truth plainly.
Yep, definitely. Yep. Roll plus truth.
And I think as she says this, her eyes like turn first to Maho for like, and like we never concretely had this conversation, but like, and you're coming with me, right? And then past Maho to Chihiro, like, do you want to come too? Because like this is not doing it the Magic's way, right? This is doing it a different way, and so that price doesn't exist. And now I'm gonna roll plus true and see what happens. I fucked up.
Yep.
I mean, if your friends are helping.
Would anyone like to help?
Well, I mean, if we both help.
If you both help, you get a 10 plus.
Em, you're muted.
Sorry, yeah. Well, I don't think I do because I think like I feel like when you give me the look of like, do you want to come too? Like that is really like wonderful. But like my immediate thought is like, there's no way that our parents are going to let both of us go. Like someone has to say.
And so
I think I don't.
And the reaction I hope for, because I also have to identify this, is I want you to like want to come too.
Well, I mean, yes, I think you'll get that, but I don't think I can mechanically help you here because I think I'm just
that's legit. I'm just like
I think I'm confused.
I just remembered that I had forgotten to fulfill the requirements of the move because I do have to say what I hope for. So
Cool.
that's
Yeah.
not bad.
Yep. But I don't think I'm helping. I don't think there is.
Yep.
I don't think narratively that makes sense. Yeah.
Maho?
If I help you, it will never be enough.
I mean, if you help, it'll
Yeah.
get to a 7 to 9.
Yeah.
Because it's +2 if I help?
Well, it just shifts it up to the next result.
Oh, shift the result up 1 step. Oh, I see.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sorry, I was thinking it worked numerically, but that's cool.
Yeah, this is Stone Top style, not fucking,
Yeah,
not
alright,
fucking
I
Dungeon
mean,
World.
you no longer hold my heart, but sure. We can try.
Cool. Great.
It's alright, you know.
Yeah.
You don't hold my heart though.
Yeah.
I know.
So
you've
the
said
way
so.
that I help
Mhm.
is I just say, yeah, I'm driving her, like as if this is like
already
the
agreed upon.
most, but it's like boring, that it's
Yeah.
like small talk, like she
Yeah.
just talks about it like it's the most normal thing in the world, of just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go drive her to the city, it's gonna be fine. You know, like to just cut that edge off of like, and you can't stop me.
Yeah.
Maho
Which
comes
I
in with-
feel, ironically, I feel like that is the deep truth. That was the deep truth part of the statement, was that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Maho is dressed in such a way that Kaito's dad is distracted
Oh, no.
and uncomfortable.
That
She's
trope.
in the like her underwear and this like tank top thing. Like she hasn't put on clothes because she's here to
Yeah.
use the shower, so she's in her like morning clothes. And we've already talked about Kaito's dad being kind of a dick. So he's probably looking at this attractive young woman and just being like,
Attractive underage young woman.
yeah, you know? He's a little
Gross.
bit flustered also.
Gross.
I'm throwing him off of his dad game.
So yeah, they're like, right.
So on a
And
7 to
then,
9, don't I have to pick?
on a 7 to 9, they give you something close to what you. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, sorry, I'm reading right words, not comfortable silence. Yeah, on a. On a 7 to 9, choose one. Yeah.
Yep. So. I mean, fuck it. They take action as I hoped.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was
Like,
no other.
I think my relationship with my parents is absolutely altered, and possibly with Chihiro. I think I definitely upset the status quo, but I think Chihiro wants the thing that I hoped she would want.
Yep.
Cool. I think.
Oh,
I think,
also, right, I forgot about the framing where it's really directed at Chihiro, but Maho's statement of I'm driving also helps for that. Because it's like, oh yeah, your friend Maho will be there.
Yeah, right. Like you can have what you want. Everything can be like it was. You just have to. It just have to be that way in Yokohama.
Yeah, just in this one fundamentally totally different way.
So yeah, I think a silence falls across the table, wherein like the parents are a bit like disgruntled and like upset and confused, but like not verbally objecting. And the other three of you are just kind of like have this weird moment of peace, and I think that's where we finish.
Yeah, totally. Right. We never find out if Chihiro comes with us or not.
This unresolved silence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, I like.
No, okay.
I think it's fairly obvious, like that. Yes, absolutely. Like I think
Yeah.
Chihiro is going to do that. Like, and maybe there is like a credits shot of like the car or something.
We miss the like fraught set of scenes of like the argument that then ensues over that sticking point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just get like this like beautiful, because again the whole thing is an anime, right? This beautiful like watercolor background and then like incredibly expressive like Ghibli style shot of like the three of us in the car and like a really soft like jazz piece playing over the credits as we just follow the car like along the road, and it like gets smaller and smaller and then just disappears into like the sun, and we just like don't see it anymore.
I think actually like there's a sort of a what's the
Post-credit
word?
scene.
Yeah, well, no, like just as some context for the end. Like I think maybe even in the car we can see like Chihiro has like a mobile phone now, like one of those big like brick ones, and is like working like in the car on the like during the ride and like organizing to send money like home to the farm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Damn. That was a lot.
Wow, it had a happy ending. That never happens, and it was so sad up until
Emily, it's a game about like play to close the difference between you.
We did
like,
it.
We did it. We did the thing.
We won.
The
won
game,
the game.
the game does the thing that we intended it to be about. I think this demonstrates.
Success. Yeah.
Yeah, there were definitely some things that like we learned about the game that we need to like some rough edges that need filing. But yeah.
I don't like how hold steady works.
Yeah, it needs to be fiddled with. But yeah, definitely. That was really
That was so much fun.
That was good. Yeah, for a first playtest, that went pretty fucking well.
Yeah, damn straight. I mean, we had amazing players. Y'all are real good.
We had an amazing chat. They were so into it, and they were also really upset by everything that was happening. We love you, chat.
Yep.
I was upset by a lot of the things that were happening too.
I'm sorry, Andrew. We love you too. Would you like a hug?
No, like it was just
Come bring it in.
I did a bunch of really
upset.
uncomfortable shit with my character
Yep.
because
Good.
that's what I felt like I had to do.
Yep.
No, that was great. That was great. I really liked your character.
Cool. Well, we will be back here again tomorrow in the evening for Court of Swords.
I will be a bird.
Episode 4. And then on Wednesday we'll probably have a cave date. So Emily and I and probably Andrew, I don't know whether or not you're free on Wednesday or what is, I think, Tuesday
It's
for you.
one of my nights where I work the like women and queer access night at my bike shop.
cool.
So
Yeah.
I won't be-
Sweet.
Aw.
That sounds great.
Cool.
That's real nice.
Well, that is okay. We shall do things anyhow.
Yeah. But let's do some shout outs. Emily?
Hi, I'm Emily. I am a filmmaker and an artist. You can follow me on Twitter at BlackWillSays, or you can now become my patron, because I am on Patreon as of yesterday. So if you go to patreon.com/Blackwill, you can become my patron if you want, for as little as $2 a month, and get access to all of my feed, which includes illustrations, a lot of things from like role-playing games and stuff. I'm going to be putting up the RPG maps that I design, and behind the scenes and notes and stuff from films that I make. So that is a thing.
Yeah. Andrew?
Andrew is my name, and you can find me on the internet in such places as @CommutingCrow on Twitter or twitch.tv/actualfactual. And I am a person who has designed a game called Girl by Moonlight, which is a game about tragic magical girls. And you can find that on my Twitter as well.
It's a very good game.
It's all right. You know.
We will be playing it again in 2 weeks. We'll come back for the finale, the long-awaited finale. And Luke.
Hello, I am Luke. I am a game designer and a cast member on shows like this. If you would like to buy games that I have written in the past, you can buy them at gamesfromthewildwood.itch.io. Recently, I wrote one where you get to be trees. If you would like to see games I am working on, you can find them at patreon.com/gamesfromthewildwood. Yeah. This was a lot, but also like that.
Yeah.
That was really good. Like,
It was really solid.
oh,
Yeah. Yep.
I'm having some feels.
Yep, I liked that a lot.
You can follow me at Acegiac, ACEGIAK, on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram, and Patreon. But for now, thank you for joining us, and we will see you later. Bye.